Was that one of the best wins of your career?
Oh, it was up there, definitely. I mean, definitely best this year. It was a lot of fun. I think you could tell by some of the faces of our players that we were really enjoying ourselves, and we were able to hold on, which was, yeah, it was really, really fun.
Good to get back to your brand?
Yeah, definitely. A couple of weeks ago, we probably didn't play the way we wanted to, coming off the bye, but I think the last 2 weeks we've shown that with really strong contest and team defence, our footy can stand up against some of the best teams.
How much confidence does this give you moving forward into this important part of the year?
Yeah, it definitely instills a lot of belief in the group. You know, without Alex, we had a number of guys step up in terms of their leadership on field. Yeah, obviously had a pretty young team out there as well, so had younger guys step up in their roles, and the whole group should take a lot of belief out of it that, yeah, when we're playing our best, we can compete.
Has anyone checked in on Alex? Because he said he was having a heart attack at the end.
Yeah, he's in today. Yeah, no, he's all good. He was watching very uncomfortably, but wished he was out there. But no, we were able to get it done for him.
But as a captain, you're pretty proud of that defensive unit without him there?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Ryan probably stood up in terms of taking on that leadership role down back, and you know, there were moments where we had a lot of young players stepping up, winning their critical contests, being really brave with the footy, and yeah, they stood up down there, which against Sydney has been a really tough challenge for a lot of teams this year, and we were challenged the first time we played them. They were able to score really heavily, so for our back six and Lukey Ryan to sort of lead them back there was pretty awesome to see.
How about the role that Fife played? Andy, how did that help the midfield group?
Yeah, a very selfless role from Fifey on the weekend. We also had Sharpie doing a bit of work with Goulden. But I mean, you look around the ground, we had a number of guys that were trying to just help the team win no matter what. Caleb had a run with in the second half, and he was blocking, trying to open up other midfielders. Obviously, Fifey did his job nullifying Heaney, but yeah, there were a number of guys that were playing a really selfless role, and you know, we didn't have anyone that dominated, but we had 22 guys that all just played their role for the team.
What sort of example does it set when a Brownlow medalist does that sort of role?
Yeah, I mean, if he's able to play a role like that, which he has been doing all year, really, he's been quite selfless in the way he goes about it. All he cares about is us winning, and if that means that he has to play a role where, you know, he might not have 30 touches, but you know, he nullifies someone like Heaney on the weekend, it's a big tick, and we're always looking at midfield vision of him blocking for guys, giving him time and space, communicating. So if it's if a dual Brownlow medalist able to do it, anyone can.
Yeah, what about the shock? What about the shock if you're the player getting tagged and a dual Brownlow medalist comes to you? Initially, it must be like, what? Whoa, what?
Yeah, I think it would have been pretty rattling for Heaney having Fifey go to him, but you know, that's the way that Heaney'd been playing. He'd been outstanding. You know, one of the best players in the comp this year, so definitely needed to send someone to him, and we thought that Fifey matched up really well, both really strong, both really competitive, and sort of let him try and work from there, be really physical and be really aggressive, and then try and work off him from there.
And that last play, so Blakey slides past, and then there was a couple of other situations that probably didn't go the way you guys did. So how nervous were you guys when McDonald was kicking?
Yeah,
talk us through that one.
Yes, we got the stoppage wrong in the last. We can't let him get that hit away, and obviously Blakey, who had a unreal game, flushed the crumb and was able to lace out McDonald. So obviously we need to get that stoppage right. But then once he had the shot, set shot, I thought, yeah, he's every chance to kick this. He's got a beautiful kick, and it was a really physically taxing game. So I was hoping that maybe in his legs he didn't have it in him. I know I wouldn't have been able to kick that far, but no, it was it was a good result to go our way. I guess we dodged a bullet in the sense that he easily could have kicked the goal, could have kicked the point, it could have been a draw, it could have gone a number of ways, but we gave ourselves a chance, and I touched on before, like team defence and contest being our brand, and if we're able to play with that sort of intent, we might not win every game, but we'll give ourselves a chance every game.
Andrew, those kind of wins on a Saturday morning, big victory like that, puts the competition on notice, gets everyone talking. Do you feel like it almost earns you guys a little bit of respect heading in towards this back half of the season?
I think pretty much after the round's done, no one really worries about what happened before. Like this weekend, we're going to go out and we haven't earned any credits from beating Sydney to take on the Tigers. Like, obviously, they're going to analyse the game, and everyone who watched the game is going to see that we were able to get on top. But I don't think it really gives us any credits apart from 4 points, which the competition's so even that it's a huge 4 points. But I don't think it makes too much of a difference, to be honest.
What about after that Melbourne game? You're obviously on a high, come back against the Bulldogs, unfortunately lose. How do you ensure that you don't probably get too carried away after that win and refocus on the Tigers?
It's shifting your mindset really quickly. Obviously, after the Melbourne game, we then had our bye, whereas now we're rolling straight into another game. We've done our game review today, already starting to move our focus towards the Tigers, but main thing is the preparation that we have throughout the week. We want to try and keep that as consistent as possible, and our prep last week was really sharp. We had our mind set on Sydney pretty much straight after the Gold Coast game, so we've already shifted towards Richmond. Hopefully have a really solid hit out on Wednesday. But yeah, our mental prep's what we want to try and keep really consistent, and hopefully it gives ourselves another chance to get another win.
Josh Draper, those final 10 minutes, remarkable really. He could have got pushed under the ball too, somehow got back. Like, it was 3 or 4 great efforts, wasn't it?
Yeah, Drapes was outstanding in that last quarter. Was in really vulnerable positions on a number of occasions and was able to just hold his own, win it. I love playing with Drapes. He backs himself in, and when he does that, he's a really hard opponent to play on. It's not an easy position, some of those looks that he had, and we probably hung him out to dry a few times in one-on-ones, but he was just able to stand up, win those one-on-ones and then get it going our way again. So he's definitely got a lot of internal praise today from the playing group.
Rising star nominee, you reckon? Rising star nominee, got to go close.
Yeah, I would say he'd be a sniff, definitely.
You look like someone who's pretty sore last week going into the game. Where are you at with your body?
I actually had a toenail that fell out last week, so I'd been stood on about too many times. I had my toenail removed, which in the first couple of days after that, it was really sore, so struggled to train. But it's been slowly healing, but has sort of like hardened up a little bit, not as sensitive anymore, so I'll have no issues main train on Wednesday.
Several suggesting you got a bit of a hip issue as well, is that?
Very sore body, but the main one was my toe. But I mean, there's heaps of guys that are managing little niggles here and there, and it's a long season. You have to be able to try and focus on your recovery and get your body right. My main focus is getting myself up for the game, and sometimes that means I might have to miss a drill here or there at main training. So. Were
you getting some close attention as well?
No, just a couple of scratches here and there. Got tackled once and got my nose rubbed in the dirt, but I'm all good.
Yeah. Eddie?
I think it was Adams.
Eddie, we love to look forward to the media. There's a thing called a pre-agent now. I don't know if you know. It's basically the year before you're a free agent, people start talking about your contract and what's the go. You seem to constantly get linked back to Victoria. What do you make of those suggestions, and how are you sort of dealing with that at the moment?
I haven't really been listening to too much noise about it. Main focus is finishing this season as strong as I can. Hopefully, us pushing deep into September, and then probably analyse sort of contract talks at the end of the season. So, my main focus is really just playing good footy at the moment.
Is there a strong pullback to Victoria at all that?
No, I woun't say so. I consider Perth my home now. Me and my fiance, we own a house in East Freo and we love it here. Got a little dog, got a sort of our own little family going here. So whilst we still have family in Victoria, we definitely call Perth home.
Now that you got rid of Charlie.
Yeah, now that Charlie's out of the house. No, he was great. He was great.
Hey, what about Brennan? You think this week, Richmond home, that might be the time to bring him in?
Yeah, potentially. He came in through the reserves and he played Waffle on the weekend. Ticked a lot of boxes. His body's feeling good, and Alex is still out, so potentially he could come in, and we know how good of a player he is, so it'd be great if we could have him back.
Stranger to leadership, how did you find making that step up and being standing captain on the weekend? What differences did you notice?
There weren't too many differences, to be honest. I had to go in and do the coin toss, which I lost, but we started well. So apart from that, Caleb and I just sort of took the pre-game speeches, which we'll do again this week, but we have a really good mix of leaders at the club, and even though Alex is our captain, we have 4 or 5 guys throughout the team who are sort of leaders of their own line. Like I touched on, Lukey Ryan was pretty much the captain of the backs this weekend, and Sam Switkowski leads the forwards really well. And to be honest, although I had the captaincy role this week and Caleb will have it against the Tigers, it didn't feel too much of a burden or anything like that. We all sort of took Alex's role together and tried to, obviously he's left a big gap in terms of someone having to step up and lead, but I think there's been a number of guys that have been able to do that.
Just on the midfield again as well, you guys maybe played a bit more sacrificial this week, but what's that balance going to be like for the rest of the year? Because a lot of the time you have backed yourself in to win that battle.
I think each team that we come up against is a little bit different. Sydney have had a few players that were really quite influential in the few weeks leading up to playing against us, and I guess we'll sort of analyse each midfield as they come, and there's a few teams that have a number of players that are really dominant, and I guess it's Joel Corey's decision to decide whether we're going to have a run with role or we're just going to back ourselves in. But no matter what he and JL decide to do, our midfield, we don't mind what we do. We just want to try and get the win, and however the coaches think that's going to happen, that's what we'll do.
Finding your rucks, Andy, how's the chemistry going with the 2 big guys?
Yeah, it's great. Those 2 are pretty much best mates. They get along really well with all of us mids, and we feel like our connection with them both is only growing. I think at the start of the year, Sean was out. Luke played a really strong role in there. Now he's been able to go forward and be really influential for us there. And Sean's been very dominant as well. So I think that connection between both of those 2, but all of our mids with those guys has grown significantly from round 1.
Did you see another side of Das, the way he played, the way he was able to take Grundy to the cleaners? That was quite. I thought the other bloke could come in and help, but no, it was Das.
We needed really Dogger forward on the weekend. We just thought that we matched up best with him being forward, and so Sean knew that he had to pretty much take on a really big role in terms of playing a lot of ruck, and I thought he was amazing. He was dog hungry. He competed. There was a spoil I think that he had that went like 30 metres, and then we kicked a goal from it. So if our big ruck can be on his toes and defending like that, then there's no excuses really. So he was great.
Roving the ball.
Yeah, he was awesome.
And what about Bailey, the kid?
Yeah. It was awesome. Bailey, we've got a number of guys that do a fair bit of work with Starlight, but none more passionate than Bailey, and he spends so much of his own time to go and try and brighten the days of these sick kids, and he's a really special bloke, and very, very touching moment.